And now onto our dinosaur of the day, Saurornithoides, which was a request from Paleo Mike 716 via our Patreon and Discord. So thanks. It was a troodontid dinosaur that lived in the Late Cretaceous in what is now Mongolia, found in the Djadochta Formation. Troodontids, in general, they were small bird-like dinosaurs with a lot of teeth and closely spaced teeth in the lower jaw. And like raptors, they had sickle claws on the second toes of their feet. They were probably smart with good senses. Saurornithoides had large eye sockets and good depth perception. It also had a long, low head and a relatively large brain and long nasals, a long snout in general, and a long tail. To me, it looked kind of like a roadrunner, but much bigger, and then with large claws on its hands and feet. A juvenile Saurornithoides mongoliensis was described in 1993 with a leg that was highly ossified, is bony and rigid, which may mean that Saurornithoides was well developed when it was born and didn't need much or any parental care.
It's precocial, maybe?
Yeah. The type species is Saurornithoides mongoliensis. The genus name Saurornithoides means lizard bird form or bird-like theropod and refers to its bird-like skull. Those fossils were first found in 1923, and it was the first troodontid skeleton found.
So they could be called Saurornithoided. Doesn't roll off the tongue quite the same.
No, it doesn't. The holotype includes a skull and jaw, vertebrae, part of the pelvis, a leg, and foot. More bones were included as the description, but it was later found that those bones were part of a protoceratopsian.
Mm-hmm.
2 other incomplete specimens were found, but they don't have enough detailed features, so we only know them as troodontids for now. Saurornithoides was described and named in 1924 by Henry Osborn in the same paper that he named Velociraptor and Oviraptor, and in that paper, Osborn compared Saurornithoides to Velociraptor. I mean, at the time, Troodon formosus was known only from teeth, and it was thought to be a pachycephalosaur, Stegosaurus. So that's why Osborn compared Saurornithoides with Velociraptor and suggested, quote, it may prove to have avian relationships.
And so it did.
Yeah, he also found that it had different feeding habits from Velociraptor, like it wasn't as good at seizing swift-moving prey. The skull of Saurornithoides was first thought to be a bird, and Osborn suggested it had an aquatic habitat based on details of the skull and nostrils, but you need limbs to know for sure.
Well, that's a surprise.
Yeah.
Guess.
He said it was a small running theropod, more sluggish than Velociraptor, which was swift and raptorial in habit, but remotely related to it. And he also thought that Saurornithoides was carnivorous or ovivorous, meaning it ate eggs. More Saurornithoides species were named, but now only one is considered valid, and that's the type species Saurornithoides mongoliensis. But in the past, you had things like Saurornithoides inequalis, which was Stenonychosaurus inequalis, and is now usually thought to be a junior synonym of Troodon formosus. In 1982, Kenneth Carpenter described a hatchling Saurornithoides inequalis, but now that's considered to be Troodon, based on a partial left jawbone, and said it was similar to another Saurornithoides inequalis jaw, but smaller. Some other species include Pectinodon asia americanus, which became Saurornithoides asia americanus, but then later Troodon asia americanus. And then there's Troodon isfarensis, which became Saurornithoides isfarensis, but now it's known to be a hadrosaur.
Really?
Yeah, not a troodontid at all.
You don't see a lot of troodontid, small theropod turning into hadrosaur.
Yeah. There was another specimen described in 1964 and was the first one collected by a professional Mongolian paleontologist, and it was described in 1974 by Rinchon Barsbold as Saurornithoides junior. And since then, just more troodontids have been found. A 2009 study renamed that particular specimen that was described in 1974 as a new genus, Zanabazar. It was named by Mark Norell and others, and they also re-examined Saurornithoides.
Zanabazar is a cool name.
It is. So, yeah, that's how they found only the type species belongs to Saurornithoides, Saurornithoides mongoliensis, but they found it's closely related to Zanabazar. In the past, Zanabazar was referred to Saurornithoides because of those similarities, And Saurornithoides was the only other well-known troodontid with a skull, and both were living in the late Cretaceous in what's now Central Asia. But with CT scans, they found enough differences between the two, and Zanabazar is larger than Saurornithoides. Its skull is over 10 inches long versus Saurornithoides' skull, which is a little over 7 inches long. Zanabazar also has more teeth than Saurornithoides, 118 compared to 108.
It's a lot of teeth.
Yeah. And the brain case looks slightly different, and there's other details. They do still have a lot of similarities, but it could be because the similarities are plesiomorphic. They're ancestral characters, and they're shared with other troodontids too, including Troodon formosus. Other dinosaurs that lived around the same time and place as Saurornithoides include ankylosaurs like Pinacosaurus, ceratopsians like Protoceratops, germaosaurs like Velociraptor, oviraptors like Oviraptor, as well as Troodontids, alvarezsaurs, tyrannosaurs, and birds. And other animals that lived around the same time and place include amphibians, crocodilomorphs, lizards, mammals, pterosaurs, and turtles. They appear everywhere.
As long as sauropods aren't around.
Even
Smash
when
'em.
they are. They just get in the way.